Hello everyone, my name is Jerry Gutierrez. I am the Global HPC Sales Leader for SoftLayer, an IBM company. Today I want to present GPUs in the cloud with NVIDIA and SoftLayer. So first, history of SoftLayer. SoftLayer was a startup that started in 2005, founded on the principles of innovation, empowerment, automation, and integration. We were acquired by IBM in July of 2013, so 2 years ago. And now SoftLayer is the foundation of all cloud at IBM. So that covers infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. Just a little a note here, SoftLayer was the largest privately owned cloud company. Before the acquisition, we had 13 data centers and over 20,000 customers globally. So since 2014, IBM invested an additional $1 billion, over $1 billion, for the global expansion of our data centers. So we have doubled from 13 data centers to 26 data centers over the last 2 years. So evolving requirements in HPC. It's very important to note that it's not an issue of on-premise versus off-premise, but more of a hybrid solution. I think customers want on-premise servers, and they also want off-prem or in the cloud, right? When they need to burst into the cloud or they need to expand for additional workloads, they can expand. So these new HPC workloads are the last portion of I think of IT to move to the cloud. Why is that? Well, it's because the requirements are so much higher, right? For HPC or GPU acceleration, you many times do not want virtualized servers. You want bare metal servers. You want to be able to deploy those in the cloud in a cloud-like fashion, meaning on demand and on a monthly or hourly basis. So our customers are using this technology, bare metal, with high performance network, low latency network, in the addition with GPUs to disrupt their industry from anything from media and entertainment, oil and gas, and also for the automotive industry, for instance, are using these technologies to disrupt. So, global cloud platform, SoftLayer. This is a very good graphic that shows our infrastructure management system. So everything is automated at SoftLayer. We wrote our own infrastructure management system. The API is available to you. So if you go to sldn.softlayer.com, you can find out more information on our API. But essentially, just above that, you have our triple network architecture, which is very unique to SoftLayer. We not only provide connection to the internet for our customers, but all of our data centers, all 26 data centers and all of our points of presence are connected via a private MPLS network that we own and manage. You know, what does that mean to our customers? Well, it means that if you want to transfer data from our Tokyo data center to our Hong Kong data center, you can do that, and it's free of charge over that private network. So data transfer, disaster recovery, maybe you want to replicate your data to another site to spin up new services there, can be done over that private network. One step further above that, you'll see that we operate on a pod design. So each pod is 8,000 to 10,000 square feet, 4,000 to 5,000 physical servers. So for instance, my home office is in Dallas, Texas. In Dallas, we have Dal 05, one of our data centers, At that data center location, we have 4 pods. So each pod is about 4,000 to 5,000 physical servers. And so that particular location has 20,000 servers at that one location. That is a combination of virtual servers, dedicated bare metal servers, firewalls, load balancers, and so on, right? Everything is on demand and on an hourly or monthly basis. So what that allows us to do, since we have all of the equipment already pre-racked, servers are pre-racked and ready to go, when you order from SoftLayer, you can have a bare metal dedicated server with root access in 2 to 4 hours, or as little as 30 minutes. If you do hourly bare metal, it's as little as 30 minutes. So that allows a lot of functionality. It also allows, when the time comes or for the need for bare metal, the full power of bare metal, you can spin that up in our data centers and not have to compromise, right, performance. So you can do a hybrid approach. Obviously, we recommend that. Not only hybrid approach from on-prem to off-prem, but also hybrid approach when it comes to bare metal and virtualized servers. So that's all controlled over the API, like I mentioned, but also you have access over the web and on any mobile device to manage your servers. So you can use that to deploy servers, to open tickets, and so on. And by the way, all support, 24/7 support, is with SoftLayer on every server. So I mentioned earlier our global reach with local presence. There's a map of our data center locations and POP locations. And you'll see that we have almost every metro area, or very highly populated area, has data centers, or at least a POP, point of presence. And we continue to expand. So we're currently at 26 data centers, moving to 40 data centers. So allow us reach within every area that your customers may be in. We will have a presence at least nearby, right? So how it all fits together. Well, SoftLayer, the infrastructure management system, or IMS as we call it, bare metal servers, of course, a comprehensive network management, and then our data centers and pods, standardized, very modular. Everything is very, very standardized. So that allows us to manage it very easily and deploy very quickly. And also, lastly, our triple network architecture. That network, by the way, is each server is up to dual 10 gig connectivity, public and private, and then an out-of-band management port that allows you to securely manage your server from anywhere in the world. So now we get to the GPU part of the equation. That's a little background on SoftLayer and what makes us unique in the marketplace. But also customer needs. So customers want the benefits of GPU. They want the benefits of bare metal. And they want that power, for instance, in the K2 and the K80, as I'll mention later. They want to be able to deploy that, but customers are really starting to realize they do not want to buy new hardware every 2 to 3 years to keep up with the demand. So the solution is NVIDIA GPU with SoftLayer bare metal. And the industries that we're seeing it in is education, public sector, architecture, healthcare, manufacturing, and oil and gas. And I would say right now, the manufacturing, oil and gas, and media and entertainment are the fastest growing segments that are taking advantage of SoftLayer and what we have to offer in way of GPU compute. So today at SoftLayer, this is are the NVIDIA GPUs, but by the way, that's the only GPU we currently carry. So for compute, and HPC workloads, we have the Tesla K80, and that's up to 2 Tesla K80s per node with Haswell 2600 series processors, up to 256 gig of RAM, 12 internal hard drives, and then up to dual 10 gig connectivity, like I mentioned. And for VDI, of course, the NVIDIA K2. Again, both the K2 and the K80 have dual GPUs built in, so you're essentially getting 4 GPUs per server. But it's on the same chassis. It's a 2U chassis, up to 12 hard drives, 256 gig of RAM, of course, and the up to dual 10 gig connectivity. So just as a side note, SoftLayer is very popular in the gaming industry. And I always give this example because what does that mean to everyday customers? Well, gamers are very, very demanding when it comes to latency and bandwidth. SoftLayer is very popular with gaming companies, and one of the reasons is for that very high bandwidth and low latency. That makes us an ideal solution, by the way, for HPC and grid technology in being able to offer those. So for those of you who are not familiar, I think maybe everyone is, but the Tesla K80, it's the world's fastest accelerator for data analytics and scientific computing. We're also seeing it very much so, machine learning. So machine learning is an area that is growing tremendously, and we're seeing many customers either trying it, and it's being applied across so many verticals, media and entertainment, financial, as well as oil and gas, and media and entertainment. We've even seen gaming companies starting to adopt machine learning to improve the way games are played. So the NVIDIA Grid K2 is the other card that we offer. And Grid is another card that's actually very, very popular right now. I think that with customers wanting to run high performance type workstation workloads, virtual desktop, when you add the GPU or virtual GPU, you essentially give that power, that rendering power, you give that ability to run a workload like that on a thin client or a laptop or even a tablet for that matter, while all the rendering is being done on the server side. So some of the graphics programs that are being used are shown there. But as you see, even Office applications are now utilizing GPU acceleration. Oh, I wanted to go back to that one more time. So profiled for cloud. At SoftLayer, you can use on bare metal, you can use any OS and any hypervisor. So you can use VMware, Citrix, or Microsoft for your virtualized instances, grid instances. So how does a grid vGPU work? You see on that on the bottom layer, you have the GPU, or the K2 in this instance, that's then virtualized, and then those virtual GPUs are assigned to a certain instance, and then you can give that instance as much horsepower as you need, or as much power as you need. Very important. So you may, depending on the type of user you have, each profile may be power user, standard user, or very graphic intensive user. So use case for Tesla. Here's a few that have been run on SoftLayer, but we have many, many more. New York University, or NYU. Startup, one of the startups we worked with recently was MapD. They were actually recently in Fortune magazine for their technology. They use analytics with GPU acceleration. And then Artomatics. And Artomatics is actually very unique in that Artomatics uses machine learning for animation. So if you give their system 3 examples of, say, characters for either a game or a movie, it actually uses machine learning to develop its own version of those same types of characters. So it used to take a team of artists to create, now is done with machine learning. So very unique use case there. So lastly, I will want to talk about our Catalyst program. So with SoftLayer, you get up to $10,000 a month for startups. So that can be used for machine learning purposes. Very heavily now, we're seeing a lot of machine learning. So we have customers that are just starting, maybe just out of a university, that they don't have access to supercomputers or to those clusters that would be required to run machine learning. But on SoftLayer, you can spin that up. And so it starts at $3,000, but you can go up to $10,000 for a month, for a year. So you get that infrastructure for a year to start your business. So it's a way to sort of kickstart or jumpstart your business. SoftLayer is very interested in helping machine learning customers to really develop their applications, develop their business around machine learning in partnership with SoftLayer. And I believe this is the last slide. So we can take any questions for the remainder of the time. No questions? Okay. Thank you very much for joining us. We really appreciate it. Thank you.